have less time, we will be doing another poem today, and this poem is a wonderful one. Okay, and this poem is wonderful. I have a lot of reasons for that. One, it's a William Shakespeare poem. And when you talk about William Shakespeare, it's always going to be something dramatic. William Shakespeare doesn't write poems which are as subtle and as simple as Sir Rabindranath Tagore, used to write, the one that we read the last time. His poems are always full of drama and a different genre of poems he writes. So today we'll be doing 1.4, that is All the World's a Stage. I'll be sharing the textbook with you, so just give me a moment. I'll do it right now. Here it is in front of you. So we have to know, we got to know something about William Shakespeare first. So William Shakespeare was born in 1564 and died in 1616. So if you see, did not live a long life as such. And my observation says usually artists, they do not live longer. God knows why, but that's just an observation that I've made. So he was an English poet, playwright. Playwright is basically someone who writes a lot of plays and is a director of the play, and actor. So he was an actor as well. He would act in his own drama as well. Yeah. So he would act as well. And he was widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the dramatist. World's prominent dramatist is world's most important or the greatest dramatist. So he was considered as one of the greatest writers in the English language. Now, when you talk about his English language, what I have read about him and his English language is that he wasn't that great at English. The reason was he was self-schooled. Self-schooled is a person who doesn't go to school, who gets educated by his own self. So he was self-schooled, and his English wasn't that great. But the emotions and the content that he would actually put into his writings used to be so strong and so powerful. And even though people did not understand his English, the emotions of his content and his drama would reach their hearts, and that's how great he was. He's often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. Bard of Avon is a title which was given to him, which meant that he was the greatest English poet. So it was just a title. Uh, he's not officially the national poet of England, but unofficially many people believe this. This poem is taken from one of his plays. It's called As You Like It. Okay, it's called As You Like It. It's uh, a wonderful play, one of his wonderful plays, and this poem is actually a monologue. So when I say a dialogue, it's between two people. When I say monologue, it's just one person. If I have to give you an example of a very well-known monologue, so you can go to this one movie called Pyar Ka Panchnama, where you can listen to Kartik Aaryan giving that monologue. Problem क्या है? Problem ये है कि हमारे लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो, उनके लाइफ की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, and then it goes on and on and on. So that's a monologue. So this is a monologue from one of his plays, that is As You Like It. And in this play, he's actually describing the drama of human life. Okay, so the entire drama of human life is enacted here. All right. The central idea of the poem that you should know before we start the poem is that all the world's a stage is an excerpt is a part. It's a little part from the Shakespearean play As You Like It, as I've already told you. The poem is also popularly known as Seven Ages of Man. So another name to this poem is the Seven Ages. All right, what we are learning is all the words a stage. Another name to this poem is the Seven Ages of Man. It compares life to a stage and each one of us to actors. So we have a figure of speech which is prominent over here in this poem. So we have two figures of speech which are prominent. The two figures of speech are the ones that actually speak about comparison. If you know what figures of speech I'm talking about, you can simply put those two figures of speech in the chat, and I will tell you what those two figures of speech are later in the lecture. So it compares life stage, and each one of us, all of us, the people are players, are actors, and we all play our parts and our roles. So, we sometimes realize that one person doesn't exist in our life anymore due to whatever reason. It's just because the person's role in our life is over. And we, as one individual, play a lot of roles. There are seven stages or acts. So there are seven stages in a person's life. The first one is infancy. Infancy is when you just enter the world, a newborn baby. Then what we have is childhood, teenager. So here, what you will be able to connect the most is with the third stage, the teenage stage, okay, in which you people are right now. Then the next stage is youth. The youth stage is approximately from 18 years onwards to maybe 30, 35 years. Okay, the person is young, the age in which I think I exist and many of your teachers exist. We're all young teachers. Then you go to the middle-aged person. You can connect with the middle-aged person also because your parents fall in that category. So infancy and childhood you've experienced, so you can understand that. Teenage, you are a part of it right now. Youth, your teachers are a part of it. Middle age, your parents are a part of that section. Old age, you must be seeing our grandparents, and the dot age is basically the end. So everyone has to go through all of these stages. We enter the stage. Stage here is life. We enter the life when we are born, and we take an exit when we die. The poem highlights the transient nature, the temporary nature of life, and the futility of man's attempts to amass wealth and gain fame. For we leave this world empty-handed and as helpless as we had entered it. So there's a very famous song that says, "Khaliyat aaye the hum khaliyat jayenge. Ek pal ka jeena fir to hai jana." That is typically what William Shakespeare is saying. We struggle for things that we don't own, and we struggle for things that we feel are ours, but we don't take anything when we leave. So that's ironical, that's funny. So we live our life by accepting what is uh, the what is living with grace and dignity. I think we spoke about it in the previous poem. It means self-respect, and that is the best way to play our parts. The poem also underlines the inevitable, the unavoidable change that one has to undergo to finally meet one's death, which is imminent, which is sure to happen. And that's how, guys, we'll start with the poem now. It's a very interesting poem. I hope you people have your pens and pencils and notebooks to write the important things that I mentioned. So here we begin. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. So the poem starts with the lines that all the world's a stage, all the world's a stage. It's like a theater, and all the men and women, all of you and me, all the people are merely players. The meaning of the word merely is just or only. I hope you write the meanings. Just or only. Just, just or only. So all the world is like a stage, and all the men and women who exist in this world are just players. Here, players means actors. Players are actors. They have their exits and their entrances. So here, exits are death. Okay, your exits mean death, and entrances is about birth. So we all have our entrances and our exits. So we all enter the world, we all are born, and we all exit the world, we all die. And one man in his time plays many parts. So one person plays a lot of roles. We've already discussed about the 7 stages, so we'll straight away go to that now. His acts being 7 ages. Please underline the phrase 7 ages. It's extremely important. The 7 ages. At first, so let us see the first stage, the infant. Infant, write the meaning for it. It means a newborn baby. Infant is a newborn baby. And what does an infant do? What is his role? The infant, what does he do? He mules and pukes. So mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. So mewling is the cry of a baby, which is usually wah wah wah, and puking is vomiting. So what does an infant do in the nurse's arms? Nurse is the person who takes care of the child. It's usually the mother. So the child just keeps on crying and vomiting in the nurse's arms when it is born. So mewling is crying and puking is vomiting. So that's the first stage, infant. I hope you underline at first the infant. That's the first stage. Now we go to the next stage, guys. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. The second stage, as we grow up, okay, this is usually between the age of 5 years to maybe 10 years old or maybe 12 years old, when we don't like to go to school. uh, I want you all after the lecture to discuss with your parents about your first day at school and just know from them how did you behave on that first day. 99% of the times, school children usually the first day they cry. So here the whining, the meaning of the word whining is crying and complaining. Okay, whining is crying and complaining. I have actually seen a lot of people in my building, who drag their children, literally drag them like cattle. So that they can go to the school. And the schoolboy is with his satchel. Satchel is a bag, a school bag, a rectangular school bag, and a shining morning face. That age is where we don't know how to have bath, we don't know how to comb our hair, and our parents usually do all of that for us. And when they do it, they make sure that our hair is perfectly combed, okay, and our face, it shines because हमारे parents हमको किसी कपड़े की तरह ही रगड़ रगड़ के नहलाते हैं सुबह वो टाइम पर. And that's why the face in the morning shines. And this boy is creeping like a snail. Creeping is crawling. Okay, he's crawling like a snail. Snail is known for its slow movement and slow crawling. So he doesn't want to go to school, and that's why he creeps like snail, unwillingly to school. He's not willing to go to school. That's the second stage, everyone. If you repeat this, we start with then the whining schoolboy. From there up till unwillingly to school. All of us to underline the part from then the whining schoolboy to unwillingly to school, and that's the second stage where he is a child. Shashikant sir, can you please mute yourself? There's some disturbance. All right. Okay, guys. Then we go to the next stage, and then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. So then we go to the most favorite age of our life, the teenage in which you people are right now, where we keep falling in love every now and then. Every second girl a boy sees, he falls in love. Okay, जो लड़की दिखता है उससे प्यार हो जाता है. And that's what it says. We fall in love. And now when the third stage arrives, the teenage, when you fall in love, we sigh like a furnace. We sigh like a furnace is where we to sigh is to take a deep breath. Okay, to sigh like a furnace is to take a deep breath and burn like a furnace, burn from within. अंदर से जब दिल जलता है प्यार होता है तब. And that usually happens when you lose your love. So that's what is sighing like a furnace. Shashikant sir, there's some chatting happening on the group. Can you please तेरे बिन अब न लेंगे कभी दम तुझे कितना चाहने लगे हम kind of songs? And to whom does he dedicate these songs to? He dedicates these songs to his mistress's eyebrows. Mistress is his lover. Okay, please write down mistress is the lover, the beloved. Eyebrow is beauty. So when we turn into a lover, we sing these sad songs when our mistress, when our lover leaves us, and these songs are actually dedicated to the beauty of the beloved. That's just third stage, everyone. And then the lover, from there on to mistress's eyebrow. That's a third stage. That's a teenage. Let's go to the youth, 18 years onwards to 35 maybe. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths, and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation. So here, a soldier doesn't literally mean a soldier. A soldier means youth. You can write this down. A soldier means youth. Now, we can actually compare, the soldier with the youth because a lot of qualities which are similar. Like a soldier is meant to be aggressive. Even a young person is aggressive. During our 18, the age group of 18 to 35, we commit a lot of errors, we make a lot of mistakes, and we have a lot of strange oaths. Strange oaths, write the meaning, everybody. Strange oaths are weird promises. So we make weird promises to ourselves, and we are bearded like the pard. Bearded is usually beard, and pard, please write it down, it means leopard. So during our youth, we don't have dense beard. Okay, our beard is not dense. It doesn't cover the entire face. It's like a cat, a wild cat. You know, दो तीन बाल यहाँ वहाँ होते हैं, and that's it. So we are bearded like a pard. We are very young. We are jealous in honor. Now I want you all to know the difference between two types of jealousy. One is when you're jealous with someone else's progress. That is not being jealous in honor. The other one, when you are jealous and that jealousy helps you grow. You want to grow. You don't care about someone else's growth or someone else's downfall. You are concerned with your own growth, and that's what is jealous in honor. So he's jealous in honor. Why? Because he wants a promotion. In youth, you want to score high percentage. You want to be at the top. You want to get a wonderful job. You want to earn money, and you want to earn more than anyone else does. Okay, you want promotions, and that's why you're jealous in honor. Sudden and quick in quarrel. Please underline this entire phrase, sudden and quick in quarrel. It means impulsive. Impulsive is a person who doesn't think twice before reacting. Okay, so when we are young, we are hot blooded, and we react easily to each and everything that happens in our life without thinking twice, and that is when we end up being in a lot of problems in that particular age. And why do we all of this? Because we seek the bubble reputation. Seeking is wanting. Write the meaning, please. Seeking is wanting. Bubble reputation is temporary reputation. We do all of this for the reputation, to earn reputation, which is very temporary. I'll give you a very simple example. If you want to make sure that you're punctual at each and every place, especially at your work, so sometimes when you get late, I've seen many people, they cross the railway tracks to get into the train, or else they would get late. They get into the trains which are already running on at the platform, and they risk their lives. Why? Because they don't want to be known as not punctual, you know, and indisciplined. But the world is such. One day, that individual arrives late at office or at work, and the entire reputation that he had built of being punctual is burst. That's it. People will not remember the 10 times when you were on time. They'll remember that one instance when you arrived late. And this is what, this is that temporary reputation the youth works really hard for, which is baseless. We go on to the next stage now. So as of now, guys, we are done with the infant stage, the first stage, the child, second, the lover, the teenage stage, and the fourth one, the soldier, the youth. Let's go on to the next one. We have a little continuation of the previous stage, by the way. So it says, even in the cannon's mouth. Cannon is actually, in Hindi, we call it top. Okay, it's actually a weapon. So here, cannon's mouth, please underline, it is a risk of life. So as I was saying, these people, they cross the railway tracks by risking their lives to just have that temporary reputation of being punctual. So cannon's mouth is danger to life. And next, and then the justice, in fair round belly, with good capon lined, with eyes severe, and beard of a formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. Now, this age is from 35 to maybe 50 or 55. This is the age of your parents, okay? The section or the stage where your parents are right now, where they just keep on giving you a lot of advice. Okay. And one of the most common advices is beta हम नहीं पढ़ पाए इसके लिए तुमको पढ़ा रहे हैं पढ़ाई में ध्यान दो. This usually reminds me of a character from Tarak Mehta ka Ulta Chashma, that is Atmanam Tukaram Bhide, who just keeps on saying हमारे ज़माने में हम तो ये करते थे वो करते थे. So this age he becomes the justice. Here justice doesn't literally means mean a judge. It simply means a wise man. Justice is a wise man. And let us look at his physicality. He has a fair round belly. So if you see, he has lost his fitness and a good capen lined. Capen lined is excess fat from careless eating habits. Excess fat from careless eating habits. Now, why does he get this fair round belly? He gets it because as he grows up, he has his family, he has a wife, he has young kids to support, he has old parents to look after. So, if you see, a lot of people depend on this one man for survival. And that's where he stops thinking about his own self, his own health. He works overtime. Instead of 8 hours, he'll work for 12, 13 hours. Instead of having a good sleep for 7 to 8 hours, he'll have just a little sleep of 4 to 5 hours. He won't eat on time. He'll eat junk food, whatever he gets. And that's how his entire physique gets destroyed. His eyes are no more naughty. His eyes become severe, serious. You look at your father's eyes, they don't even have to scold you. Sometimes just looking into their eyes scares the hell out of us, right? So their eyes become serious because life is serious for them, and the beard is of formal cut. Now let us compare this with the beard of the leopard style, which is unkempt. जैसे जैसे दाढ़ी उगती है वो एज में young age में लोगों को, but as they grow up their beard is of formal cut. You can look up to your parents for this. Now look up your father and see your fathers will either have a clean shaven look, or they'll have a mustache which is properly shaped, or they'll have a beard which is of a formal cut, which is usually uh, the French beard, the one that Amitabh Bachchan portrays in Kaun Banega Crorepati. And in this stage, the person is full of wise saws. Please write the meaning of saws. Saws are proverbs or advice. Proverbs or advice. They only have advice to give to us. तुम कुछ भी करो, they'll only have advice. खाली एक sense of teaching होता है कि मैं मेरे बच्चे को जो मैंने गलतियां की हैं मेरा बच्चा ना करे, इसके लिए I will give him all the wise ideas. And modern instances are examples. The one I was talking about, हमारे ज़माने में ये होता था, and now this is what happens. But let us understand from both your ends. From your end, it is very important for you people to learn from your actions, because life is the best teacher. And the parents have to understand that how much ever you teach to the children, they will learn only through experiences. All right. So this is the age in which our parents are right now. So students, because we are almost done with 30 minutes, I would not want to, go a little faster and try to finish the poem. So we will stop at this stage. So just a little recap of what we've done. So what we've done is we've learned that all the world is like a stage. Our life is like a stage, like a drama. All of us are players. We all have our birth and our death. In the first stage, we are an infant who keeps on crying and vomiting in the nurse's arms. Then we go on to become a complaining schoolboy who doesn't want to go to school. Then we become a lover where we love and we lose our love and we write poems which are dedicated to the lover's eyebrow and the beauty. Then the next stage is that of youth, the fourth stage, where we have our strange promises and we are bearded like a leopard. We are jealous in honor and very impulsive in our actions. And we do all of this to get some temporary reputation, even though it comes at the cost of our lives, our lives. And then we go on to the age in which our parents are right now, that is the justice, the wise man, where the physique has gone a little haywire and the eyes have become severe. The beard is of a formal cut, and all this person has is wise proverbs and modern examples. And that's how we stop today. So, students, we've done just half the poem. My homework is also not going to be a lot. What I want you to do is, I want you to go to page number 25, as you can see here, of your English workshop. I want you to solve activity number one. As you can see, there are two circles or bubbles or clouds over here, yellow color, that is match the column. I want you to do this activity, activity number one. I want you to do activity number two, that is the blue table, as you can see right here in front of you, the blue table. But because we are not yet done with all the ages, we are done with just 5 ages. So I want you to solve just the 5 rows and columns. So one, two, three, four, five. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to write the roles that they play and the qualities or actions that they commit in that particular age. All right. This is the homework for uh, for now. The next